But also, the difference with the Italian is why the Italian cocktail culture started so late. Why? No. Because we don't need it. Because we don't need cocktail culture. Because why you need cocktail culture? If you have cognac, if you have brandy, if you have bourbon, if you have rye, you can drink at home. Or if you go in a bar, you want something more complex. So, in the United States, they need to create something that was more complex. So what they start to do, they blend the stuff. They put some whiskey, you put some bitter, a little bit of sugar, some curacao, maraschino. Hey, take this. It's very good. It's complex products. We have vermouth. We have bitters. What does more complex of vermouth and bitters? What can be more complex of a product with the profile of the wine? 12, 14, 16, 20 spices inside. You know, it's super, super, super complex. We don't need it. We don't need to make cocktails for have complexity. We have vermouth. What is a cocktail? Who can say to me? Bitter, spirits, sugar, water. What is vermouth? Bitter, spirits, sugar. It's a cocktail in a bottle. So, we don't need to make cocktails. For that, cocktail in Italy, cocktail culture in Italy starts when the cocktail became fashion in the 20s, in the 30s. But before, everybody was drinking some cordial, some bitters, some vermouth, and everybody was happy also. Like, this is interesting. Italian didn't need to create cocktail for have a complex drink. No, we don't need it. But when I say to you that vermouth is the most important spirits in the history, it's because it's true. You can imagine Harry Johnson without vermouth. What he can do? Yeah, I don't think he can do a lot. Harry Johnson without vermouth, you cut 60% of his book. Because in the first book about bars, Jerry Thomas Bar book, how many cocktails you have? Cocktails. 12. And they're all the same. Whiskey cocktail, gin cocktail, blah, 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 you know. Some sugar, some bitters, dash of maraschino, dash of curacao, a little bit of ice. This is your cocktail. Like Jerry Thomas writes in his book, nobody was drinking this. People was drinking punch. Punch was very good, you know. Punch was complex, with tea, with spice, with different kind of spirits. Nobody was drinking cocktail. Because cocktail was good, but was not so good. There is only 10 cocktails. But after something has happened, vermouth is arrived in the United States, and it starts to be big. And boom, cocktail culture explodes. Manhattan, martini cocktail, or Martinez, how you prefer. Like full of drinks create, mixing vermouth and spirits. The vermouth is the keystone of the evolution of the American cocktail culture. There is no other products that push the mixing culture like vermouth. Why? Because the vermouth in the past was the most complex drinks that you can have. If you take Harry Johnson's book, you didn't find the vermouth with the wines. The vermouth is with the cordials, with the liquors that you use for add flavor. And if you see how many drinks was present with vermouth in the whole books, this is impressive. Manhattan is a symbol of American cocktail culture. It's made with vermouth. Martini cocktail, first recipe, was made with Italian vermouth. Vermouth was the key. And this is really important to know. Vermouth, complexity. Like, look at that. Vermouth cocktail, like was the American vermouth, so the vermouth that was shipped in the United States, the same or the vermouth that we was drinking in Italy or in Greece or in Spain? No, absolutely not. The vermouth that Jerry Thomas had used, or Eric Johnson, was totally different. Because just imagine ship the vermouth to the United States in 80, 60. Take a lot of time. They cannot do with the plane. They don't have fast ship. They have to ship with a, real ship. Not like pirate ship, but something like that. So, vermouth normally is 16 ABV, 17 ABV. Some good vermouth is 18 ABV. Like, I don't want to ship something with 18 ABV. 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we are all together drinking something at a simple stand. At another stand. So, vermouth was really different. The vermouth that arrived in the United States was really strong. 24, 25, probably 28 ABV. Because they ship a lot of products. They cannot lose this product for oxidation. They cannot lose this. So they had a lot of alcohol inside. So the vermouth that was used for mix a vermouth cocktail was probably 28 ABV or something like that. Sometimes the vermouth was fortified with brandy and not with alcohol because it was cheaper in this period to produce brandy than to produce pure alcohol. Look, the first martini cocktail, Italian vermouth. But after I was in the, H. Baron book, and I was so surprised because I see, hey, that's the Manhattan #1 that is made with the French vermouth. I'll say, oh my God, this is really bad. You want to say to me that Manhattan was made with French vermouth? This really disappointed me. But after there's Manhattan #2 that is made with Italian vermouth. But they say, how is possible? Like vermouth from France and vermouth from Italy are two different. Have you made some Manhattan with dry vermouth? I love dry vermouth. I like it. With oysters, I drink it. I love it. But in a Manhattan, and after I found this is really interesting. I found a journalist interview on the Daily Palladium from Benton Harbor, Michigan, in 1899 that explained the essence of the Manhattan cocktail. I'm gonna read for you. He was a smart guy. The true Manhattan cocktail is always made with Italian vermouth. But at half the place where they undertake this, so when they say, oh, vermouth from France and vermouth from Italy are the same, that is not true. To serve them, French vermouth is substituted, and the fine flavor is altogether destroyed. So the journalists say, if you put French vermouth in a Manhattan, doesn't taste like a Manhattan. French vermouth is a sort of wine. It's something that tastes like wine. Yeah. I don't know if you try some wine from Reno, from Mosella, the south of Germany. If you try this wine, really tastes like French vermouth. Really dry, acid, subtle flavor. But Italian vermouth is a cordial, pure and simple. They are as different as milk and molasses. And this is my favorite part. A cocktail made from the French brand is more a Manhattan cocktail than it is a Spanish omelette. Okay? So, Italian vermouth was really, really, really important for American mixing culture. So what we have to do, we have to respect and to restart to respect the vermouth, because vermouth is really the keys. Just 1 minute more after I leave you, because I talk too much. So we learned something. The vermouth was not red, white, blah, blah, blah. It was Italian, different categories. Okay? Today is also happening the same things. We are bringing back different categories, different style of vermouth. If you look what's happening in Italy, small producers are growing, and we are every day bringing back something that was really connected with the past. With the same spirit, we create this. Is our gin, and you can go to Deal's stand and you're gonna try. You will see it's a really strange gin. It's really different gin. What we want to do was to recreate a gin exactly like was made in the speakeasies during the Prohibition. So this is a bathtub gin, but it's made with good ingredients, not like in the past, you know, they do a lot of tricky stuff. We want to recreate this emotion to connect one more time the herbalist culture using fresh herbs, fresh fruit, different spices, creating a gin that was served in the speakeasy. So, if you go to try after, please give me some feedback, because we really try to recreate exactly the same concept of gin that was made inside the speakeasy, in a bathtub, during the Prohibition. Because, like, we like to keep the stuff alive and original, you know? We trust more in original history and original things than in the marketing. That is important, but sometimes can drive everybody out from the way. So thank you very much for being there. And see you later at Deal's stand. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much.